What's going on, YouTube? It's Lenci. I'm back for another video. Look at me doing 2 videos in 1 month. Can y'all believe that? I'm in shock myself.
You are when I close my eyes.
So, anyways, today's December 31st, 2022. It is New Year's Eve for January 1st, 2023. And I just wanted to come on here and just make a video about me being very transparent. 2022 was one of the hardest years of my adult life. I started off the year in January, was very miserable at a job, quit my job this is the short version. Quit my job in February, right? Yes. Quit my job in February. Did a music residency for the whole month of March. And so after March, I basically was unemployed. So I had to kind of like figure out what to do. So I was doing DoorDash, Instacart, waking up at 5 in the morning till maybe about like 1 or 2, sometimes 12 in the afternoon, doing DoorDash, doing Instacart, sometimes trying to do them at the same time. Just trying to figure things out. I got another music residency in May. It wasn't as long as the one in March, but the money from the music residencies was basically paying my bills, like my car payment, my car insurance. I wasn't staying at an apartment because the job that I previously had, my rent was included. I worked in higher education, so I was the assistant hall director. So with that job, and most jobs alike in higher education, you don't pay for rent. But if you want to check out my video about like quitting my job part 1 and why me not paying rent was, in the end of it, not as much as an incentive as I thought, because nothing in life is free, and I was paying with my mental health, and that was just too expensive. So what do we do? February, March, that's not the beginning of the year. January, February, quit my job. March, music residency. Residency was great. It was in Durham, North Carolina. Loved it. It was like this place called Boxyard RTP. If you live in the RDU area, definitely go and check it out. Amazing vibes. Great. Amanda is one of the directors. I think she just had her baby. But shout out to them. Definitely gave me an opportunity that I will not forget, and I would love to come back. So also during that time, in that March period, I had a show in Atlanta in April. Please don't be mad at me if I forget the dates. I'm not good with dates. How I've made it this far with remembering things as an adult, I don't know. But you know what? We're just glad to be here. So I had a show in April while I was traveling from Atlanta to Raleigh, so Georgia to North Carolina, which is a 6-hour drive specifically from Atlanta to Raleigh. And so I remember when I got the music residency, I was also rehearsing for the show. So the last 2 weeks of the music residency was my first 2 weeks of rehearsing for the show. So I was already in North Carolina. So I would drive from North Carolina on Friday to Atlanta, rehearse in Atlanta on Sunday. I was still doing DoorDash in both states, and Instacart in both states. I would drive from Raleigh, North Carolina on Friday to Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know why I have to repeat this so many times. To Atlanta, Georgia, and rehearse in Atlanta on Sunday. Drive back to Raleigh on Tuesday, rehearse in Raleigh on Wednesday, perform in Raleigh on Thursday, drive back to Atlanta on Friday, have Saturday off, I guess. I was still doing food delivery stuff. Rehearse in Atlanta on Sunday, drive back to Atlanta on Tuesday. Yeah, rehearse. Wait, no, I was just in Atlanta. I'm sorry. Drive back to Raleigh on Tuesday, rehearse on Wednesday, perform on Thursday. That was my life for about 3 weeks.
Damn. I'm sorry.
Then after that, I was in Atlanta for the month of April, and I had got my check from the music residency, which was a really nice check. I ain't even gonna flex. It was a really nice check. But I knew that I needed something that was gonna sustain me for the rest of the year. So I was still doing Instacart and DoorDash and things like that. Then I got an opportunity to do another music residency in March, April, May. Oh, I had my show show sold out in April. It was great. I'm super thankful for everyone who has supported me thus far. And I'm already going to speak into existence, being thankful for the people who will be supporting me in the future. People have supported me in many different aspects. And I'm just so grateful to have had that. But while I was going through like this, like I would rehearse, do DoorDash and then rehearse and then go back to doing DoorDash. And I was just very stressed because I'm like, how are these bills going to get paid? But I knew that no matter how bad it got, I was not going back to that job. I wasn't doing it. One thing that I learned this year is these, 18, 19, 25, 28, maybe 30-ish. Like, we don't want to be here forever with y'all. We don't want to work for y'all forever. This is not the final frontier for us. Like, we want to go on to create our own businesses or work from home or do something virtually or travel and explore. I've seen people that are millennials and Gen Z who we don't really want to work a 9 to 5 forever. And I feel like employers and institutions need to realize that. But back to my story. So we are in April. Show sold out. It was great. Also, when I left my job, I had to give up my dog because the family member that I'm staying with, they didn't want a dog in their house. We're going to get to that later. They didn't want a dog in their house, and I begrudgingly had to learn to respect that. Some people just don't like animals, or they just don't want animals in their house. And I mean, you paying the mortgage, so what can I say? So I was staying with them in between my Atlanta, Raleigh adventures. But during that like 3 months of traveling back and forth, I had to let someone else have my dog because my parents also didn't want a dog in their house. We could talk about that later too. Hope they're not watching. We are in April. Show was great. May had a 2-week music residency. That went great. So at this point, I'm kind of like, okay, the person who's keeping my dog is only going to keep them for 3 months. So if my family member in Atlanta isn't going to let me have my dog in their house, I need to figure out a way to get an apartment. So I did some interesting financial things and I got an apartment. The apartment is interesting, but in a bad way. But my thing was like, I don't have a lot of money and I need a place for me and my dog to stay. So that's my dog snoring right now. So I got an apartment. The apartment thing isn't working out. I still haven't made the type of strides that I would like to make on my album. I know I'm going out of order, but I'm just trying to get all of it out. I do come across a nice little lump sum of money. So I'm considering moving apartments, but they don't break leases here, which is weird, but whatever. So, in a nutshell, these last like 6 months, the latter half of the year, the latter 6 months has been a roller coaster. Then I really just want to get off of it. And I'm super excited for 2023. But my car got broken into, my window got busted out, and they stole some things from my car. They stole some stuff. And they also stole the spare key to my car. So, but they didn't steal the car, thank God. So I had to get my key reprogrammed for my car, which was super, super, super expensive. And that was the second time I like lost a key this year. So this year just been really crazy. I've never woken up at 5 a.m. to do anything. So, also one of my family members ended up getting really sick this year. I'm not really going to go too deep into that. For those of you who know for those of you who know, you know what I'm talking about. And this year has been really up and down. I'm very grateful that I even have somewhere to stay in Atlanta. I'm very grateful that I have friends and family who support me. But I think just the stress and the like stagnation of where I'm at with some personal things just kind of made me, I don't know. There were times where I'm just like, I really want to give up. I don't want to do this. It's just too stressful. I don't understand how people are paying their bills. And it just seems like people who are just paying their bills at ease, they hate their job, but it's paying them good. And I just don't want to be in a place where I'm making enough money, but I'm also deteriorating from the inside out. And that's what was happening. And I feel like I've lived 2 years in 1 year. Um, and I'm just hoping that, you know, my mental health can get back to a healthy place. I might have to make a part two because I feel like some of the things I said was kind of ambiguous, but I will leave y'all with this. Like, quitting my job and having to stress financially is not fun. I don't ever want to do that again. I don't ever want to do that. But the financial stress and the wear and tear on my body, like traveling back and forth, was really hard. And I think in the moment when I was doing it, my adrenaline was just on 1,000. Like, I gotta go get this money. I gotta go do this. Like, I don't have any other option. I put 2 years worth of miles on my car. But I think if I was going to put 2 years worth of miles in my car, I would want it to be me doing something that I loved. So, you know. But yeah, financial stress, the wear and tear on my car, the wear and tear on my body, me not being able to sleep, me and one of the family members that I'm staying with, we are kind of in an interesting place. Those of you who know are the ones who know. Shout out to the girls who know. And it's just been really hard. It's just been really hard. There was, a sickness diagnosis in my family. I'm not going to go too deep into that, which kind of is still affecting me. It's just been a lot this year. I feel like I haven't laid down roots anywhere. And I want to come back to North Carolina, but I just feel like I'm not ready yet. So we're going to see what happens. We are going to see what happens. But for me, the trauma that I experienced this year, I had never experienced before. And so I'm still learning to heal from that. And I never want to go through 2022 again. By the grace of God, I am still here. And that's what I'm trying to really focus on. It is very hard. I have 2 jobs now. I have 2 part-time jobs now. And like, even though I'm working, that has definitely, taken away time for me to do music and also taken away time for me to just rest. And so over this Christmas break, I have really been trying to be intentional about rest. And also like the person who broke into my car, they stole my running shoes. So I haven't been able to run. And like, that was really a place of peace for me. But I couldn't afford to get up and buy like $200 running shoes again. So I kind of had to put that on hold, and it was just a whole bunch of other stuff, and it was just really hard. But I feel like I'm dragging. So I just want to say that I'm still here. There's a reason why I'm still here, and I'm going to continue to focus on positivity. I'm going to continue to fight for what I want. It's definitely not easy. And also, if you're watching that video, that means that you made it too. So no matter what you went through in 2022, if you had an amazing year, I hope you have amazing years for the rest of your life. If you had a not so good year and it was like mine, then I hope that these forthcoming years will be amazing. Sending blessings and positive energy your way. And yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, spend some time with you. Don't you know that I'm a hopeless romantic? And sometimes, baby, without the semantics, the way I feel for you, can't understand it. I just got to get